But Real Madrid really then turned it on in the second half. Vinicius Jr., Modric with a lovely goal, and even Eden Hazard scored to kick things off with a victory in that group. Good game this, Craig. Nice ebb and flow certainly in the first half.
Well, it was a good game until it wasn't a game, as one way to put it. It was interesting. Ange Postecoglou, the Australian manager, who, by the way, has done an amazing job at Celtic. Lots of changes at Celtic with little money to that playing squad. Just beat Rangers a few days ago in the Old Firm derby. He was asked at a press conference about tempering the expectations of supporters, and he said, "What, you want me to burst a bubble? You want to tell them we've no chance?" You know, I can't be. They come to this game with the hope that they're going to see something from their side, and I think they did for a period. But the fight is not Real Madrid.
Right.
That's not their fight. I mean, the fact that they were able to play in the manner in which they did for 45 minutes, create chances, put the centre-halves under pressure, hit the woodwork, and didn't take another couple of chances, rattle Real Madrid a little bit, the Spanish champions, the current European champions, as you mentioned, I think that's a feather in their cap. But it's not their fight, and so they got undone by the quality. I mean, we were watching the game, and I said to you, when Toni Kroos had a couple of bad passes in the first half, I said, he's flagging a little bit. And you said, unlike Modric.
Yeah.
And Modric hadn't done a great deal at that point. And then he steps up and he just takes the game by the scruff of the neck. That's the difference in quality. I can only imagine some coach when Modric was little. You know, when you see coaches coaching kids, you're too little, you'll never be a player. You're too slow, you'll never be a player. You're making too many passes with the outside of your foot, you'll never be a player.
Too many goals. Too many goals with the outside.
You're playing too many fancy passes with your right boot, that you hit it with the outside and you curl it. You'll never make a career doing that. He's an absolute magician with that ball with the outside of his foot. It was Real Madrid 2.0, wasn't it? It was not great for a while, and then a lot better in the second half, and it was just too much for Celtic.
Yeah, how many times do we talk about Modric playing that role as the game goes on, Ali?
Yeah, this was typical. At this point, we just say typical performance from Real Madrid and Luka Modric. Real Madrid were fortunate not to go down in this game. McGregor hits the post. Craig just alluded to that. Dyson Maeda comes off the bench, and he has a real opportunity. 100% a chance from my kind of range, and he hits the ball and goes right into the hands of Courtois. And then Real Madrid, for a period of exactly 21 minutes, from the first goal to the third goal. 21 minutes is where they played at their very best, and that was enough. That's when they put it away. And then you saw the quality of guys like Luka Modric or Vinicius Valverde, who I think gives this team so much flexibility down the right-hand side. But also today you saw him playing through the middle and down the left. A whole lot of work from him. His service to Vinicius Jr. in the first goal was outstanding. And then you just think, well, this is it. We've come to expect this. Nobody is surprised anymore about Real Madrid absorbing pressure, going on the counter, scoring a couple of goals, and then game over. That's it. The only surprising thing is Eden Hazard scored today. Not only did he score today, but he actually looked active. He was showing for the ball. He was dropping underneath. There were signs, if you're a Real Madrid fan and an Eden Hazard fan, signs to at least be optimistic. However, having said all that, none of this is the storyline for Real Madrid. Yeah. Not beating Celtic, not Eden Hazard. It is Karim Benzema. Because I have to imagine, game is over, and the first thing that Carlo Ancelotti does is, okay, I go and say hi to the coach. I say, hey, guys, good luck the rest of the time in Champions League. And then I turn right back around and I ask the doctor, how is Karim doing? That is a question to ask, because you don't have a player that can step into his position. Not even in Hazard, not even playing at the level that he was today. He's not the answer. So if it's not Benzema, who is it going to be? Apparently Hazard, short time. I just don't see this being successful long term.
Yeah, Benzema went off in the 30th minute. Ancelotti addressing that after the game, saying they will have to do scans. It doesn't look too serious at the moment, but
he'll
of course...
be around his house, Ancelotti, putting the ice on himself.
Well, most definitely, because we know how important
Well, Eden
Hazard
got his tap in, but let's be honest, at the very same spot that Celtic missed a chance that Ali mentioned in the second half, he missed a sitter.
Well, he came on and really had that chance
before half-time from 6 yards out, and so, look, I understand sometimes that can happen, but it's about a trust process. If a player is out for a prolonged period of time, we don't know that about Karim Benzema. I think it's unlikely from early reports. But we saw this movie last year when he had a little bit midway, I think it might have been January, February time, when he had an injury problem, and they tried everybody but the tea lady at centre forward, and they just couldn't fill that role. So yeah, he's talked Eden Hazard up, obviously, to try and keep his chin from being on the floor. Ancelotti, that is. But Benzema, it goes without saying, is they don't win La Liga or the Champions League again if he's not fit to play regular football.
It's going to be an interesting 48 hours, isn't it, to see the fitness that Benzema will say. Thank you very much to Ali. Let's just remind you what else happened in Real Madrid's group today. A huge surprise. Leipzig thrashed at home by Shakhtar Donetsk by 4-1. It's been a really bad start for Leipzig. That continues now in Europe. So Madrid and the Nets sit at the top of the table. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.